Hello guys, welcome back. My name is Angel. Welcome to another episode of That Plus Plus. In today's episode, we're gonna be talking about JavaScript conventions, formatting, and linting. So let's get started with that. So I wrote a small article to explain this. Basically, formatting, is the task that you do in order to get your code into a specific set of rules, into how it's indented, how the symbols are organized, overall format structure of your code, right? This is very important for consistency across code bases and to avoid people doing like different, indentations and different styles, right? To get the code homogeneous, right? Linting, linter, based on the Wikipedia definition, is a static code analyzer or analysis tool that is used to check common errors on programming, such as error bugs, style errors, and weird stuff that you build there according to a set of rules, of course, right? In order to do that, I used to use ESLint, which is the most popular linting tool for JavaScript, along with Prettier, which again is also the most popular tool for code formatting, right? In order to enforce these two tools in code bases, because I think it's a really good practice to do this, we use a couple tools called Husky and Linting, right? Husky is a tool where you can set up hooks for Git. Basically, hooks are things that you can do before or after you do an action on Git. In this case, we're gonna be doing the pre-commit action, right? We're gonna be executing stuff before we do a commit, or right before we do a commit, or right before we try to do a commit. And then there is Linting, which basically it helps you identify the files that you have in the staging area on Git in order to use that information to run linting or formatting tools, right? So let's follow the following steps in order to set that up into our system, right? Or task project, right? So I have a blank project here. Let me just clear this up, right? I have a blank project here that we can start, right? So the first steps that we need to do, right, according to our guide here, is install the libraries. But before we install the libraries, we need to create our project, right? So let's create our project. We create npm project. We run the command npm init in order to create our package.json. So that's pretty standard stuff. If you can see it here, the package.json was created, right? So we follow these basic steps, right? First of all, we install our dependencies, right? We got ESLint, Prettier, Husky, Linting, and a plugin that matches, ESLint with Prettier, because ESLint is also a formatting tool, but it's not as good as Prettier. So we're used to use them both, right? First of all, we set up ESLint. It's gonna ask us a bunch of questions here for the first time for creating the configuration file. Let's check up some basic options here. Let's say that we're gonna do this. We're gonna use JavaScript modules. We're not gonna use nor React or any of this. Let's say that we're gonna use TypeScript, yes. Let's say there is a node, popular style guide, standard, JavaScript. He installed several dependencies for us. He suggested several plugins and packages. That's really cool. We use npm. So it starts like installing all the dependencies. Should be run quickly. So we install all the dependencies. Then we create an ESLint ignore file, which is the way that we tell ESLint which files to skip. We need to at least tell them to skip the no modules folder. We create a Prettier JSON configuration file. That's where you put all the rules. We also create a Prettier ignore file, also for ignoring no modules. And of course, or git ignore for a repo to ignore certain files such as node modules, right? After we do this, we add this key on the package.json file. It's basically we're telling links tag it whenever you run. We set up like a rule, right? For all the files that follow this pattern, you're gonna run this, and this, right? So let's go ahead and do that. So we go here, we add this to our package.json. So now that we're here, we're just gonna, tell uselink to ignore this, my .idea folder, which is the folder for my editor. The ignore, same thing. Git ignore, same thing. Right? Okay, so we added this. Finally, we set up Husky, which is the hooks library in order to run hooks. First of all, it asks us to do this. Basically, this will add a new script, the prepare script for npm. We run that script, which is basically going to do install Husky. We install Husky, and then we add this hook, right? Which is going to create in a .husky folder a pre-commit file with the content of the links tag, right? Again, the links tag is just going to find the rules on the package.json, and it's going to run whatever you set there. So we created this, and now we check our status right here, right? So we have a .git idea and no modules. Let me go back to this. And the git ignore. So basically what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna create a file to test this, right? So I'm gonna create an index.js file. Let's do an error on purpose, right? Let me try to log a variable that doesn't exist. Let me try to do something here. Another console log like hello world. So I'm gonna save this. So I'm gonna try to do a commit here. So checking git status. I believe that, let me see. Well, let's not do this yet. I think I'm gonna commit all the node modules. You shouldn't, right? Yeah, so let me first, I'm not sure why it's committing the node modules. Let me delete those. Let me delete that folder. Shouldn't be there. So git status, we only have the clear files and we have removed that. So if I'm trying to do a git add, right? I already did a git add and now I'm going to do a commit, my first commit. So when I do that, now he should be trying to run all the things on the prettier, on the links tagged key, right? If we go to this, we see that if it formatted the file, because the first thing that it does is run prettier with the --write option, which means that it's going to change the file. And then when he's trying to run the ESLint, then it fails, right? Because we have an error, an error that it was detected by ESLint, right? If we do this here, and again, there is an extensive set of rules that you can enforce in different plugins, like for documentation and all those sort of stuff that you can use for setting up rules for ESLint and other rules for prettier. But for now, we're not going to cover that. There's a large library of this stuff. Status, again, it committed this. Let me just delete this. I'm not sure why it's not picking up the git ignore. Not sure why. Right, anyway. I only have on my staging area those files, and then when I'm trying to do a commit, it should all be green, and now we successfully did the commit. Right, now we're just gonna push this to our directory or repository, and now we have successfully set it up for validating all JavaScript file or TypeScript files before you commit it. So perfect, guys. This is it for today's video. Make sure to hit the like button if you enjoy the content, and share this with anyone who you think that it will be useful. See you next time.